Hey guys, Brandon with Staprock Media, back with another video in the Finding My Voice series. If you watched my previous video about what the heck I'm up to today, I promised you I'd do another video because it's just rattling around my head. And this one is about raising the barrier of entry and making it harder to get into anything, particularly voice acting. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I've noticed it. When you say, I want to get into XYZ, somebody's going to come along and say, wow, you need to really go through a lot of trouble. It's going to take a while. Well, in voice acting, they say, okay, you're going to need to work with a vocal coach, and it's going to take you about a year. You're going to spend about 10 grand on this. You'll need to get a studio and get somebody to record your demo, on and on and on. And you need to do this, and you need to set up that, and don't get this whole studio set up, and you need technical overload. And by the time you're done, you're going to be so confused. The barrier of entry that is going to be raised so high that there's no chance of anybody actually becoming a voice actor. And I don't think that's the point of people giving advice like that, but it is the upshot of it. I think they're well-intentioned and are trying to say, learn from all my mistakes, all of them. Here we go. Now avoid every mistake I ever made. Or let's get you set up to be absolutely 100% correct, studio ready. You could get a call from Disney tomorrow and be able to take that call and be prepped. Well, that's great advice. If you really are going to mortgage your house and you're a full-time voice actor right now, then yeah, go get a coach. And my advice to people is know where you are as an actor. I did a video on voice acting is acting. You need to be able to act, okay? I've come across some people and they talk about wanting to either act or do voice acting. When I interact with them a little bit more or jump on the internet and hear their demos, man, they're rough. They're rough, okay? I'm sorry, that's just it's the case, There's a lot of people who say I want to get into voice acting or want to get into acting, and they really suck, okay? That's not to say that they can't unsuck or get better, but there is a point where it's like, listen, you are really, really rough, and if people aren't telling you, you ought to float that out there and say, hey, I was thinking about getting into voice acting, and you ought to hear from a few people saying, oh, yeah, gee, I like your voice. I think you'd be good at that. Some sort of a positive feedback instead of, oh, That's not to say that every negative criticism of you is valid and you should say, oh, well, fine, I guess I'm out. That's not what I'm saying at all. You just need to know you, okay? Are you in a place where you've done some of the legwork and you're ready? In my case, I did theater in college for a couple of years. I was up on stage. I got cast several times. It wasn't just ensemble. I was one of the main lead characters on stage with carrying a lot of dialogue. I did a whole lot of different character types. I've done recording for office settings. I've done some small projects for clients. I did a couple of radio spots. So yeah, I feel like in my case, I've got enough self-awareness to say, yeah, I'm pretty good. I am not one of the greats. Okay, I know that about myself. I'm not one of the greats right now, but there's a lot of people who are coming in who are just really, really rough, and you really do need to work at it, okay? And working at it, I would say, get into local theater. Try to do that. If you need to work on it and you feel like, you haven't really hit your stride yet, have some self-awareness and realize that. But I don't think that you need to spend 10 grand in a year at this. So I know on the one hand, I'm saying, hey, admit a truth, maybe you do suck. But on the other hand, I'm saying there's room for improvement. Okay, there's room for improvement for everybody. I've got room for improvement too. So know where you're at as a person. Don't be too hard on yourself, but also don't think, man, I'm gonna really make it big tomorrow, when you're not, because you haven't started yet. You have to realize you have to come in and pay your dues. That's why I said I'm gonna jump onto Fiverr. I'm gonna take any stupid little job I can because I'm doing a decent job for them. They're not paying top dollar, and I'm learning by doing. That's what I want to do. I showed you on another video, I put in $200 into my studio setup, and I'm running here. And I've done some of the legwork to learn to use my voice, but I cannot do a long set. That's a problem for me. I don't have that endurance. I don't hydrate well enough. I need to do that, okay? I could do better in a lot of things. My technical skills are rough. I'm really learning on that. So I've got room for improvement, and I'm identifying it. I'm also making sure not to go ahead and fall right into my mode where I'm really comfortable doing this thing, which is more of an act that I'm going to put on for people. And this is not really me. This is me doing an impression of me. All right, I need to not do that. That cannot be my default reaction. I can't fall into that mode. So being able to take on small projects where people are not paying top dollar and I'm not giving them I'm doing a good job, but I'm not giving them. This is not going out to to Pixar tomorrow kind of a performance. This is a $80 microphone. It's not a $2,000 Sennheiser or anything like that, right? So do the very best you can with what you've got, but get started. That's what my advice is. Get started. Don't let people raise the barrier of entry so high that there is no way that anybody could actually start. I think that's nonsense. Could I benefit from working with a vocal coach? Absolutely I could. I think that would be really helpful. But right now I want to get going, make a little money, get my feet wet, see if there's any chance just working on my own if I can pay off the equipment investment that I've got, and I'm nicking away at it a bit. But there's a lot of work that I do that is not paid work because it's on the office's dime during office hours. I'm the company voice person. Anyway, I told you, I think I've been out sick last week. I told you this in a previous video. And I also mentioned my endurance is not where it needs to be anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and stop before I lose my voice and overdo it entirely. But I hope this is encouraging to you and to realize that, no, you don't have to raise the bar so high that nobody can get into this, but you do need to have some self-awareness and know where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and if you have any chance of doing this at all, practical bit of advice to find out if you've got any chance at all. Get any kind of a microphone, even if it's a desktop microphone. Record yourself saying something, read some dialogue, read a commercial, whatever, and upload it to, there's a subreddit for voice acting. Upload it there and say, I want you guys to give me your honest assessment, and tell them, make sure say, nope, this is not an equipment test. I know this equipment sucks. I'm not trying to get you to listen to the gear that I'm using. Just, can you please tell me if you think I should even try? And don't listen to the chuckleheads who just say, no, go kill yourself. People are awful on the internet, okay? That's terrible. People are terrible sometimes. But, listen and see if people go, I think there's something interesting in your voice, because the one thing that you can never be is somebody else. Don't try to be somebody else. That's why I need to not go into my mode of being radio guy, because anybody can be radio guy, but nobody can be me. So the question is, do I have something interesting in my voice that people are going to want to listen to? And some people have this neat smokiness. Some people have this deep resonance. And then sometimes you can learn how to utilize or how to push a little bit more of what's good about you. You need to learn your diaphragm control. That's one of those reasons I said theater is going to be so great for you if you want to learn that kind of thing. I had a whole semester of voice diction and dialect in college, and that was really helpful in a lot of ways. But anyway, drop any questions you might have below, any comments. Please don't flame me. I don't like people being mean. Be mean if you want to be, whatever. But I hope you guys are encouraged, and I hope you get out there and find your voice too. I'm doing the best I can, and I hope you will too. See you later. Darn it. I did the whole video just fine. I didn't goof up. It was like professional quality, and right at the end, dropped it. See you later.